Hello, everybody, and welcome to the TOUTTE podcast. I am Bryce. I am here with Ryan, parentheses, final two reversal, and parentheses. How are we doing today?
I am wonderful on this Taute Monday. We are recording 500 hours late because Bryce didn't feel like recording. I don't know. We were supposed to record 35 minutes ago, and he didn't feel like it, I guess. But we're here now. I'm going to use my final two reversal to beat him in the vote, so it's all good.
It was actually 34 minutes ago, so let's calm down a little. And the reason was because I was snug and comfortable and then made a coffee and, you know, sometimes you just gotta let life take you as you pass by. You can't always be stressing all the time. You have people these days, they need to relax, and I'm here to promote that. So that's how I feel, and that's why I think you should all vote for me if we were in a final two. Today's podcast is going to be all about final twos. Everyone's asked the question. Trust me, I know. Hey, Bryce and Ryan of the TOUTTE podcast, who would you vote for in every single Big Brother final two? It's all over my inboxes, all over my DMs. Everyone wonders. And today, don't you worry, we're going to answer that for you. Ryan, who would you vote for? Who do you think people would vote for between me and you in a final two?
Well, I mean, I don't know if you saw, like, the debates have been flying. It was trending on Twitter for 4 days straight.
Hmm?
The Taute fans, the abundance of them, when we got 3 viewers on our last video, is just
Mm-hmm.
really overwhelming. I'm so grateful to our fans for their interest. I'm pretty sure they would vote for me because they know that I really should have won the draft. For BB27, I wanted Ashley, and even then, like, I choked a lead at the end. So, everyone knows that I was the better player and I deserve to win.
Blew like an 8-1 lead or something. It was really all right. Well, everyone's allowed to be wrong, and that's okay. Um, and we'll allow that for you. I personally would vote for me because I think I'm prettier and funnier and cooler, and I think I think that's why. But it's not about us today. It is about the finalists of every single season of Big Brother. We're gonna go one by one. We're gonna say, I want to vote for this person. I want to not vote for this person, and then we'll like yell at each other or something. I don't know, or we'll all agree and we'll hug and be merry. I don't know. Ryan, is there anything you want to mention before we do all this fun ranking business?
Um, we're not doing Big Brother 1, obviously, because who cares? We are not doing Canada because that would take too long, and Bryce has not seen multiple seasons. Um, we did say we were going to do Celebrity and Over the Top, but I just realized I forgot to put them on the tier list. So maybe we can still talk about them at the end. We just won't have a visual aid to go along with that.
Perfect. Perfect. I was really excited for my. I still haven't. I'm still torn on my over the top, and it's not who you think. Stay tuned. Okay, so no over the top, no celebrity. And we just raw dog it. All right. In this Big Brother off season. All right, I'm gonna pull up the dang tier list,
Yeah.
and we'll just get
And
started.
for the first time in Taute history, I decided to do a little bit of effort for the tier list here. I did go and make a tier list template specifically for us to use for this video, rather than finding a pre-existing one.
We've got a budget here at Taute. We've grown. I I'm liking that it's in alphabetical order. I was like, oh yes, season 2 finalist Adam Jasinski.
Well,
Um,
I did. I know you don't read our messages ever. I did tell you that I uploaded the files in season order, and then it just rearranged them at the end for some fucking reason, and I
that's okay.
wasn't gonna go fix it.
That's okay, because we know who's who.
Yeah, famous finalist in season 2, Dr. Will versus Adam Jasinski.
Yes, of course.
You're also not
Um,
sharing the screen if you're supposed to be.
I've gotten so much better about that. Okay, BB Final Two's tier list. let's get into it. All right. So our first final two after BB1 is Will versus Nicole. Um, and this is harder than you may think because Nicole is queen, but I would just vote for Will because he's Will. I feel like I don't really have to explain it too much. Nicole was great, but Will, pioneered the game, blah blah, yawn, whatever. Like he's good, etc. Like made the game what it was. Like ugh, I just don't want to be like basic like Will fanboy person. But obviously, I would vote for Will in that final two because I kind of also live for the like winning no competitions game. Like I think that's really fun. He's been very relevant lately for all the people bashing Ashley. Where it's like, oh, you don't need to win comps to be good at the game because Dr. Will did it. Um, and so yeah, I would vote. Bryce's vote goes for Dr. Will. Ryan, who would you vote for in this final two?
I do think it's a harder decision than you're making it out to be. You're like, obviously, Dr. Will, blah, blah, blah. But I think in some circles, I think that's even a controversial take. Because when you look at the season as a whole, like, Nicole and Hardy ran the fuck out of that shit. Nicole goes up week one and flips the entire house, and from there, she's in a dominant position to make it to the end. Um, I would still vote for Dr. Will because despite Nicole and Hardy holding all the power, Will does such a good job of sabotaging them to the point of like he makes them look bad and he understood how to play to a jury so much better. Um like yes, Nicole and Hardy won the competitions. Had the power to do what they wanted to do, but Will was able to not only save himself but pin them against other people, get them to make enemies doing so instead of just them being fine with it. And by the time of the final three, he was, I believe, the most locked to make it to final two. Even if he loses to Monica, he at least had both people also wanting to take him, and he was going to make the correct decision. Monica didn't even play in part three. Will did win the single competition to make it to part three of the HOH, and he was also going to take Nicole, which was the correct decision. So he knew what his winning path was. He took it, and it was his winning path because he made it be that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I will say this is one of the stronger final twos. This first final two ever is a very strong final two. Nicole is a very good runner up.
Correct.
And it's kind of sad that she's been kind of lost to BB history, justice for Nicole, but I guess not in the TOUTTE jury votes, unfortunately. um, yeah, any other BB2 final two thoughts, Ryan?
Not really. I'll get right into Big Brother 3. I mean, this one's very
Oh,
obvious. Lisa Donahue was the best Big Brother
mhm.
strategist of all time.
Yep.
No, like I love Lisa and all, Queen. Wish she came back for All Stars. You can't not vote for Danielle. Like, she's one of the best non-winning games easily. She completely controlled the strategy alongside Jason for the entirety of the season, and it is a tragedy the jury is what it was, and the fact that she got such a like loyalty honesty season, especially right after Dr. Will. Like Dr. Will was able to convince his jury because that was also like a loyalty honesty like die Chilltown die season, but he was able to like kind of dissuade that. I don't think with like Roddy on that jury, I don't think she was ever going to fucking like just no matter what. I don't think she's ever winning that vote solely because of him.
Your All Stars pick Roddy, right? Is that what I'm remembering?
Correct, and you didn't let him be on there.
Yeah, that is exactly why. Um, but yeah, I gave an edgy take about Danielle. I think last time I won't be giving an edgy take this time. One of the best to never win in that season. She dominated it from start to finish. And I think in modern BB things would have gone a little different, but everyone was clutching their pearls, saw her diary tapes, etc. I have a question. Do you think because like does Danielle win without the confessionals being seen?
No, not just solely based on like
Yeah.
Roddy. Like I think it's a closer vote, but
Mm-hmm.
I like she's not winning that because that jury was not voting on gameplay. There were like 2 people on the jury that were considering it. Like I think Josh and Jerry were both like Danielle supporters, but they just like gave into the peer pressure because they knew it didn't matter anyways. But like she was never getting enough votes because the jury did not give a fuck about gameplay.
And let's wake it up for BB Legend Jerry again. Second time in a row talking about him. But yeah, this is a relatively easy, simple one.
Yeah, except she should have kept Amy at Final Four, but you know.
Yes, that's her biggest mistake, really. Then she loses to Jason. I don't know, whatever.
When Amy wins and takes her and she wins, then what?
Does Amy beat Danielle?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. All right. This next season's going to be really hard. I've just realized this. Oh wow. We have June versus Allison for next season. And this is my favorite final 2 of all time. I don't care. This is, in my opinion, the best final 2 Big Brother has ever had and ever will have. And you can quote me on that. These 2 fucking queens absolutely devoured these people up and played such cutthroat, interesting, dynamic games, and nobody liked them for it. And so they took each other. They didn't even like each other. They hated each other. They still hate each other. It's amazing. I don't know who the fuck to vote. June is one of my favorite. I'm such a June defender, apologist. I always say, like, she pioneered the floating strategy. She is a legend, but Allison's game was so good, and people just kind of didn't vote for her because she like slept around.
You want me to talk about him and we'll get back to you?
You know what? I'm gonna say it. I think I'm gonna vote for Allison in this final 2. That is really crazy of me to say because June is one of my favorite winners of all time, but Allison would be one of my favorite winners of all time. And I just think of the 2, they played the best 2 games of the season, but I think Allison played such like a dirty, gritty, like endearing game. I'm gonna just be edgy and I'm gonna vote for Allison here. All right.
I'm going to talk about some of the highlights of both of their games because I think there's obviously similarities, but there are quite a few differences. I think Allison's move being able to get Nathan to save her was very good, although a little bit lucky because I think there's not a single other person in the game would have vetoed her. And that was back when everybody played in the fucking veto. So like him being the specific one to win that is kind of wild.
Oh yeah.
So I do think there's a bit of luck there. However, nobody else in the game would have like gone after her at that point also. So it was also an unlucky HOH. I think she was better at competition. She used those competitions well. I think June was able to get that one guy to quit by antagonizing him because he's my mother. And I think in general, like when you look at both of the sides, I'm pretty sure both of the sides would have picked June over Allison if given the chance. Like I know Jack's side would have. I know like Jack specifically had a really good relationship with her. And I know that like she was able to utilize the twist a lot better. Her and G kept their thing super under the radar. She like everybody kind of pushed G, but especially June, being able to get G to throw that HOH at Final 7 so they could take out Justin is their Final 8, Final 7, one of them was like kind of insane. I don't like that was never a good move for him, and June missed it the fuck out of him.
Yeah.
I think towards the end, people would have picked Allison over June, but that's because they knew like both of them are easy beats, but like they knew Allie was less liked. I think June was just able to play better. She knew she could get Allie to be more hated, and she was generally safer throughout the game. Both sides preferred her over Allie, and I think she had more individual good moves. So I would still vote for June.
So here's what I will say also. I agree with every single thing you said, and I will say June, in my opinion, played a better game than Allie, especially as shown by the jury votes. She was also kind of like the difference between her and Allie also is she was never really at risk in the season of going home, I don't think. And Allie was constantly at risk. And I guess I'm thinking in my jury, like I like that underdog story a little bit, but I also really just kind of figured you would pick June, and I just wanted to give Allison a shout if I'm being fully realistic about it.
And it's valid.
You know,
I did also mean to bring up that Allison was at least the one to pitch to June that they should be a final two, and June ran with it.
mhm.
But I do want to give her the credit for that as well.
This was a duo. This was like Allison did a lot this season, and her jury tanked because of it. Like she played the fuck out of a lot of people, and they like knew she was doing it, and they still just she misted some people. It was crazy. And so I'm just giving Allison a shout for that. BB5, one of the closest jury votes of all time. Listen, one vote away from Big Brother 5 winner Cowboy Ellis. Ryan, how does that feel? Are you going to be the fourth vote to give Cowboy the victory?
Are we even gonna like bother like doing a bid? Or are we just gonna just fucking give it to Drew? Like they said in the jury roundtable, they were just like Cowboy like played Drew's game and Drew just dragged him along because he knew he was loyal and he would beat him. And it's like, yep. And at the time too, I will never get over the fact that at Final Four, Cowboy has the sole vote to evict Drew Showmance or his sister, and he takes Drew Showmance, who at the time Drew was planning on taking to Final Two instead of Cowboy. And if he cut Diane, they both would have taken him to finals.
Yeah, I consider this like the Brian versus. Listen, season 5 of Big Brother, season 5 of Survivor, Brian versus Clay, Drew versus Cowboy. Like,
I mean, the jury didn't hate Drew like they hated Brian too.
Why? Who else voted for? I assume the twins voted for Cowboy because they're psychotic and like religious things. I don't know. Who else voted for Cowboy?
His sister.
Wow, Cowboy got votes from. That's really fucking funny. That's so fucking funny. I didn't even think about that.
Like, the thing is, like, even though it was a close vote,
it wasn't.
Cowboy was never getting another one of those votes unless Diane is really, really bitter. But like, and even then, like the twins were also like they loved both of them, and it was like a close decision. And I'm 99% sure that if Nokomis thought Diane would vote Cowboy, I think Diane would. I don't think Nokomis was going to let Cowboy win. I think she knew he was losing and was like, "Fuck it, I'll vote for my brother."
Well, remember when he listened? There's also a Cowboy Ellis Big Brother 11 timeline.
And All Stars. He was there for All Stars.
Was he? And they didn't vote him in? That's crazy.
Yeah, I wonder why he didn't get picked. It's a mystery.
Yeah. And just to talk about Drew, I think we talked about him last episode for whatever reason.
Yeah. And I don't want to talk too long about him because when we eventually rank winners, we can get more in detail.
Very underrated winner. Did a good job. Played a really good game. Just solid game. It could have been boring at times, but it was solid throughout. And I like his cute little blog. Okay. Big Brother 6. This final two really. This is the first season I saw, and this final two fucking devastated me. I am not a Maggie apologist. I'm an April apologist, as we saw. But I hate this final two. It's so sad. It's just so depressing after most of people rooted for the Sobs all season. I know there's edgy friendship people out there. And I would not want to vote for either of them. And I don't think the jury wanted to vote for either of them either. So, Ryan, who would you vote for in this Big Brother 6 final two?
One thing I want to bring up that I always think is really funny is that I forgot that in season 6, at the final 6, when it was Bo and Yvette on the block, Maggie won veto and genuinely at first was going to veto one of them and evict April until April sobbed to her and begged her not to, and she was like, "Okay, fine."
Missed.
I mean, I think this is pretty easy. Like, I know you're not the biggest Maggie fan, but like when you look at their games comparatively, I don't really think it's close. I think Yvette, like, she got to the final two. She was in a decent position. She had the best relationship with like James, but like she was useless in comps until final 5, and still like the Sovs just fucking hated her. They hated Maggie too, but it was like Yvette actively could have won, and instead she tanked her jury management and just like yelled at everyone in her goodbye messages, especially Rachel. for no reason.
Yep.
But I mean, Maggie had more like game moves. She was always safer within her own group. She was making more of the calls, and Yvette was there.
Yep. And I agree. I have to pick Maggie over Yvette. But again, for the Maggie apologists, I want to re-emphasize this. Maggie loses to Yvette. Maggie loses to Yvette if Yvette doesn't randomly attack Rachel in her jury speech. That loses her
fair,
2 votes. She loses like 5-2 to Yvette if she does not randomly fucking attack Rachel in her goodbye message. So I just would like to make that clear. But I would vote for Maggie because Yvette was just a god. It was terrible.
to be fair, I do think Rachel always votes Maggie. They had a lot of respect for each other since literally day one. Like they always saw each other as threats, and like Rachel in the roundtable was like, "Yeah, I think Maggie played a phenomenal game. Like she genuinely did respect Maggie a lot. I don't know about Howie though. Howie might have flipped.
Kind of like having a like boring queen off. Like I can see that.
And also, Yvette could have just thrown the final HOH and won the game, and instead she didn't.
Yeah. I still, in my heart, Janelle beats Yvette. In my heart, April votes for Janelle. There is a chance for that. I genuinely think
April and
actually were friends, and I think April has said she's not sure, but I'm not 100% sure about that.
Yeah.
But okay, Maggie wins. Yay! All Stars.
I know you're about to say Erica.
I am about to say Erica because I fucking hate Mike Boogie so fucking much. And this was before it was cool to hate Mike Boogie because he was like a fucking creepy stalker. His strategy was gross. He did run the game with Will, but I still think most of the thoughts were Will's. And then he kind of just like parroted them and then was like, I don't know. I guess you could say he played a better game. And he, like, of the two, he was the one missing Erica. But there's also something to be said about fucking hating people. And if I fucking hate you, I'm not going to vote for you. Like, there's such a thing as a bitter juror, and I'm a bitter juror. And I'm not voting for Mike Boogie. I don't care. I do think Erica played an underrated game in Big Brother 7, except for when she took out Danielle. Like, holy fuck. The Janelle taking out Marcellus to Erica taking out Danielle timeline is like the darkest age. I can't do it. But and I would vote for Will over Erica, but I'm not voting for Mike Boogie over Erica. Also, shout out to Erica for getting Will evicted at Final Four. Like, she ate the fuck up out of that. She ate that shit up. And yeah, my vote's for Erica. Fuck you, Mike Boogie.
I disagree with some of your, like, he parroted what Will said, especially, I doubt you've watched the Ethanimel video about him, but he goes into a lot more detail.
I haven't. I don't like watching him or looking at his face.
Like, for example, like, with the Legion of Doom and shit, James and Danielle were hesitant to trust Will, but they believed it because they did trust Boogie. Okay. And, like, Boogie, there were a few other things. Like, I think Boogie temporarily had the votes to, like, flip in like week 1 or something to take out Danielle, but then they backed out. Something along those lines. My mother Allison would have won the game.
Oh.
I do think Erica's game is underrated. I think she played pretty decent. The issue is like a lot of her big moves, like taking out Will, phenomenal, obviously. Taking out Danielle, while on paper taking out like the second biggest threat on your HOH is like a really good move. It's like I always say, like when I play orgs, if my number one takes me out and it's good for their game and like genuinely is what they should be doing, a lot of the time I won't be bitter. If they're doing it because they got misted the fuck out of some like by somebody else who's not even gonna be loyal to them, and like it was just stupid and them getting played, I'm not gonna fucking vote for them. And Erica taking out Danielle is absolutely fucking moronic. If she cut her at like final 3, final 4, sure. But like she cut her over people who were going to like take like she was almost gone in the double. She beat Will in the veto by like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And if she doesn't do that, then she's evicted in 5th place right after her HOH.
Yeah.
Like
I agree.
I think Mike Boogie objectively played the better game. I understand the hatred aspect. Trust me, I'll get to that later. BB21. But I would vote for Mike Boogie.
Okay.
It's alphabetically Boogie, not Mike.
That's very funny.
I just saved the file as Boogie.
Mm-hmm. All right, perfect. Another split decision. On to Big Brother 8. Will it be split again? I haven't thought about this. This final two also sucks to vote between.
Let me go first. It's my turn.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, they're both fucking horrendous. Like, neither of them played good games, asterisks. Neither of them were pleasant, asterisks. It's like, in the beginning, I think people do underrate the beginning of their game. They were very, very safe. They were in the majority alliance. They did kind of only flip because America's player was like fucking them over. Granted, they spiraled way too hard. And the way they chose to try to backdoor Eric, they said, let's put up two instead of
The Kale. Oh, not the Kale round.
why did they nom Kale and Jen when they knew they were going to backdoor Eric and they would need their votes instead of and then the one person they tried to flip, they said, all right, this is going to be a split vote. We need one more vote. Let's get his showmance to flip on him. Like, what are you talking? Between the two, though, I think he's one of the worst winners of all time. But I think people do nowadays tend to underrate Evil Dick's strategic ability. I think he did generally know what he should be doing. He just he kind of did self sabotage for his own daughter, and he flipped way the fuck out. Like he's emotional as hell, and he's not pleasant to be around. But I think at most points in the game, he knew what he should be doing. Flipping on Eric there isn't terrible if they do it in a better way, and get like the way they antagonize everyone got their entire alliance to flip on them. But I think if they were more chill about it, they could have got Dustin or somebody to side with them somehow. Or just fully flip and just fucking nominate two of them and be like, fuck you guys. And then it's 4-4. They have Kale, Jen, Danielle. And those are the better people at comps.
They could have done it. But okay.
They could have. So I think they went about it badly, but I think at the time, I think Dick just simply had a better strategic mind. I think they knew what he knew what they should be doing more than Danielle did. And I think that it's hard to blame Danielle because sometimes I forget she was 19 or 20 during the season.
Yeah.
I don't know how the fuck she was even allowed to be there. It's kind of crazy. She should, and especially being in there with her dad that she didn't talk to anymore. I don't blame her for not having the most sound strategic mind because how the fuck do you cope with that?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with pretty much all that you said. But I do feel grateful that that Zach didn't win at least. Okay, at least we didn't get Zach. We were this close. We were Dick
Zach,
not cheating away.
I mean,
but no,
Zach did awful in that call. I mean,
yeah.
we were one. Dare I say, we were one Zach vetoing Eric in the double away because then I think Zach and Dick still just went out and take each other.
Yeah, realistically, it should have been Eric or Jessica, but it's these two. Big Brother 8 is actually the only season that I like Danielle Donato in. That's my favorite season of her, believe it or not, and I hate her in the other two. And I am struggling with this because it's Dick had a sound strategic mind, but he was really nasty to people. Danielle was whiny and whatever, and cheated on her boyfriend and all that stuff. But she was a fucking comp beast, and I do love a female comp beast. I don't like a male comp beast. I don't know why that is, but
I mean, valid.
So it's and the other thing is that Dick was gonna get evicted if not for America's player and not Danielle.
Because Dick vetoed Danielle.
Yes, but also it's because Dick was throwing his game for her. So
yeah, but also at Final 7, Danielle would have been evicted if Eric was allowed to use his veto.
Okay, well there you go. Never mind. And I wouldn't have known that if I'm in the jury, to be fair. So I'm struggling a lot, but I think I'm gonna give a shout to Big Brother 8 Danielle. I'm gonna do it.
And when you find my Dick, I save the file as ED, so it's an E.
Okay. When I find your Dick, I'll notice that.
I didn't feel like having two files on my computer named Dick 1 and Dick 2, so.
I'm just voting for Danielle because I think I'm just putting it, if I was in that house personally, if I was in the house, I don't think I would let someone talk to me the way that Dick did and then reward them at the end. I think I would be nasty and bitter to him. And I don't think either of them played strong games. So at least Danielle like queened out and won all those competitions. And so I liked the Big Brother 8 Danielle. I don't know. I think there was times she was actually even like, I don't know. I'm just going to give her a shout. I'm just going to give her a shout because I don't care. Okay. Big Brother 9. This is another hard one. We've got a weird fucking final two. It's hard for me to even remember.
Well,
this final
Bryce, you need to remember, Ryan is also racist.
Ryan is also racist. The thing that is tough is I remember rooting for Ryan in this when I was watching the season. But then I also remember Ryan did get evicted.
You were also probably like a casual that was like, oh my god, he's winning more competitions.
I don't know what it was. Ryan did get evicted. Ryan was also going home, if not for like the Sharon hamster thing, probably.
I mean, he won that veto too.
Oh, okay. This is hard, but Adam also was really not a good player. Like, this is the problem. Adam was really a bad player. You remember the James week, where he like?
I sure do.
Yeah. I don't know. This is another season I throw my key into the river. I really don't want to vote for either of them. They were both terrible. But I don't know. You go first.
I feel like this may sway your vote in the other direction. I see this as the prototype for Claudia throwing her game away for Ty in Big Brother Canada 11. I think Ryan was like winning the competitions and had the power, and he was actively self-sabotaging in order to make Adam look better the entire like end game. He was going to like flip on Maddie alongside maybe it was Natalie. Like they had that plan to flip like to the other side, but then Sheila talked them out of it. My mother, it should have been Sheila. He kind of gets lucky that James goes back on his word after he goes back and backdoors Maddie. And then like I don't know, they just like comp out and rah rah rah. But then like from final 7 on, he like has a chance to flip and save Joshua instead of Sharon when he has like a final 2 with Joshua, and then they back out for some reason. At final 5, he's the one to evict Natalie instead of Adam to just let Adam look better for some reason. He flips on, he like lies to Sharon all week and lets Adam mist him into keeping Sheila when it wasn't smart for them. Like he actively had multiple decisions to be able to put power back in his hands and just willingly gave it to Adam every single time.
Yeah. And more that I think about it, you have swayed me, and he did a lot of dumb things. So you are correct about all that. And again, the fact that he was evicted and then they were like, just kidding, one person's going home. I can't overlook that too. And also, say what you will about Adam, I actually do think his storyline with Sheila was very cute. That was a very cute thing that occurred.
Ryan is also racist.
And Ryan's a racist and his girlfriend's a lesbian.
But not actually. Surprise.
With Sheila. Yeah. So we both vote for Adam. All right.
Do we need to talk about Dana and Memphis?
Nope.
I don't want to talk about Memphis.
Next.
Okay. Now we can debate. Talk about fucking Jordan.
We're debating?
I'm not voting Jordan.
Natalie?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
It's like not close.
Really?
Yeah, well I'll talk about her after.
I'm gonna get triggered. Okay. I do have the opinion that Jordan is one of the most underrated winners of all time. I think there is a reason that she has the same record as Dr. Will. Jordan has one of the best social games of all time. Everyone loves Jordan, and she's a very unthreatening individual. She also is not bad strategically. Like, it might take her a bit of extra time, but she'll get there. Her biggest mistake was obviously taking out Russell alongside Jeff. Obviously, you could say she rode coattails. She gives kind of Sandra to me a little bit. But this is not also, she's just pleasant, likable, but this is not also for how good of a player Jordan was. I think she was solid. Natalie was terrible. Natalie was a terrible player. And you could say she ran the season or whatever, but no. Like, Natalie made so many mistakes, so many more mistakes than Jordan. It was catastrophic. First of all, let us not forget, Natalie was actually going to take Jordan to final two. Natalie
She was
was,
gonna
yes,
she was gonna take Kevin. Kevin was gonna cut Natalie and take
that's what it
Jordan.
was. Sorry. Kevin was going to cut Natalie. My apologies. Um, she worshipped Jesse for like no reason. She lied and told everyone she was 18. Oh, you know why Natalie wins? Final two reversal. Right.
Exactly, exactly.
Oh my God. I forgot. I forgot about the final two reversal. Okay. I'm going to calm down a little bit then. She just has some of the worst jury management in history. She also goes home at final nine if Shima doesn't throw her microphone into the pool. Um,
I mean, Shima was the target.
I think it was Natalie. No, it was Natalie.
They wanted Shima out.
I recall them being upset that they couldn't take out Natalie.
You are incorrect.
Okay. Fuck you.
Like the second Michelle won HOH, they walked up to her and they were like, "What are you gonna do?" And she's like, "I want Shima out." And they were like, "Perfect."
Okay. Okay. Um, what was I gonna say? Um, I don't know. Natalie was just Delulu. Okay, give your speech, Ryan.
Okay. When I said it wasn't close earlier, I was lying. I think strategically, like I do think Natalie just played a stronger game. I think the coup d'état is a huge fuck over from a stupid twist. Um, like was her side in like a super steamroll position? I mean, if they won the comps, yeah. If not, even so, like she was nowhere near the biggest target of her side. Um, even like obviously Shima bigger target, Jesse bigger target. Fucking Lydia goes home over her for some reason. Um, I think coup d'état fucks her. I think Shima quitting kind of fucks her. But then after that, like her and Kevin are able to successfully bluff. Even so, like
That
Lydia
one
is
move, I will give her that. She did
Lydia
that.
is still in the house when they come up with that plan. Like they pull that off in Final Seven, trying to get them to backdoor Russell, and they wait another week. But like Kevin was willing, like Kevin knew Lydia was going to go home, but still was like already planning shit with Natalie.
Mm-hmm.
Final six, they completely missed them. Final five, uh, they successfully take out Jeff.
And what if they're
Final
final for
four,
HOH?
you know, final two reversal. No, I do think like I know Kevin was also going to cut her, which is like stupid and like, but I personally don't see that as Jordan like pulling one over on Natalie. I think that's Kevin looking at the jury and like, because the only reason Natalie loses is just because like Jesse goes to the jury house and like I fucking hate her now for some reason. It's like yeah, she was annoying, but like I don't blame Kevin for not realizing that everyone would flip on her.
Mm-hmm.
Like Jordan was shocked at the vote she was getting too.
Yeah.
I also think she's uh potentially fucked over by Shima not being on jury. I don't know for sure if where Shima goes there. Shima also probably hated her, but there's also a chance in my mind that if Shima's there and it is like, what are you? Why do you guys hate Natalie so much? Like I could see that going the other way. I don't know. Like
I will
she
say that
loses because people hate her socially, but I think strategically she played a better game. It was
a
more
big
safe,
part
had more influence.
a big part of the reason people hate her is because they found out she lied about her age. Like people really fucking thought she was weird for that.
For fucking some reason.
Because it's weird.
I mean, kind of like I get her aspect of like I'll say I'm younger so that people see me as less of a threat. Like there's a reason
She
behind it.
also was atrocious. Maybe one of the worst jury performances ever. Um, ever. I like I they asked her best move and she was like my closest ally was Ronnie and or like something like that, and then she was like my best move was getting out rid of you, Lydia, because you were like a fucking bitch. Like I was like this girl. So this is one of those votes to me that comes down to social game, and I really
Yeah.
think like Jordan has one of the best social games of all time. Even if you are not on her side, you still like her. And even though Natalie probably played a little better strategically, and I say a little because she did strategically crazy things too, her social game was just garbage. People did not like Natalie because she did things, unnecessary things, to make people not like her. So that's my debate. You can go with the strategic side and vote for Natalie, and we can, live happily ever after.
I don't know if you're gonna get this comparison. You know what, Jordan? I think it's clicking with me about Jordan with me.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan is Chris Gaiaphasian Stars, where they go in there, sit there, and be pretty, and don't do anything, and just win because people like them.
I'm sticking to my Sandra comparison, where it's like she'll kind of be in the power with the power. She'll have some decent strategic moments here and there, and people will like her, and people on the other side will like her. And if you can just be unthreatening and well liked, that's the way to win Big Brother. Genuinely, people don't want to get rid of her, and everyone likes her, so she wins any final two. Like that's really all you need to win Big Brother. Um, so she has just the right mix of that. Jordan Lloyd, apologist, bang. And she can win comps, kind of. But we'll talk about it more in our winner rankings. But over Natalie, yes. You're crazy. You just wanted to trigger me.
I stand by it. I've always said I would vote Natalie.
Yeah. Okay.
But you convinced me. I'll vote Jordan because then when Natalie uses her final two reversal, Natalie wins.
Wait, okay. That's very true. No, I'll keep you on Natalie. But
yeah.
Big Brother 12, you want to start or me?
I'll start. Between Layden Hayden, there's a long period of time where like I didn't see this season live. I got to be real. I didn't know what the fuck the differences between their games were.
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, Hayden won more comps, and like in their speeches, even Hayden was just like, "Yeah, we kind of played the same game, except I won more comps." I'm like, okay, that doesn't like mean anything to me. Like Lane was also going to like cut him for Brittany, and like Lane got Brittany that far along. The thing that kind of shook me up is when RHAP did their like season retrospectives over the last year leading up to BB27. Brittany was on the Big Brother 12 one, and I listened to a Brittany interview, and Brittany was like, she had a final three with Layden Hayden, and while she was more loyal to Lane, she was genuinely like also undyingly loyal to Hayden. And that like, because I was like, during her HOH at Final Seven when she takes out Matt, I was like, I don't understand. Like, I get Lane. I don't know why she's not just nominating Hayden, but it's because like genuinely, like Hayden was missing the fuck out of her too alongside Lane, and I never realized that. I think Hayden's relationships were just a lot better than I realized. Like, he sat Matt down before the Diamond Power veto and was like, "I'm gonna evict you," and still like was able to smooth it over enough to the point where like Matt didn't even flip on him. Like Matt had so much information. If Matt goes to Brittany at Final Seven and says the fucking brigade exists, nominate Hayden, he's fucked. But he was able to get it to the point where instead he was like, nominate Reagan for some fucking reason. I still, it baffles me that people still say Matt Hoffman is one of the like most underrated best players when he lets himself go home at Final Seven because he's fucking stupid. But anyways, I think the jury got this one right. He also only didn't get Brendan and Rachel's votes because they were being petty and thought that he made up a mean nickname, but really Enzo made up that mean nickname. For Brendan, I don't know what the nickname was. I've heard that like they apologized. They said they wish they voted Hayden. So like the vote shouldn't have even been as close as it was. Hayden should have won that in the steamroll. And
all right.
I don't see much of a difference, but I'd give it to Hayden because he was just like in a better position and people liked him more. I don't know.
So I will give my take here. Hayden is one of those winners I've always found to be so boring. And of course, over time, age where you see he played a good game, whatever. He is a crazy Trumpy now, but I guess I can't account that into my jury votes. I do think they played similar games. I feel like you're underrating Lane's game a little bit too, because Lane had a lot of social capital in the house. He had Brittany. I think he played pretty dynamic. And he also had Lane was one of the best people at getting in with Brendan and Rachel. And I think that's also part of why he got their jury vote. Is Brendan and Rachel like trusted of anyone in that house? If I recall, like they trusted Lane like almost the most for whatever reason.
cut you off here because you're just wrong.
Is that wrong?
Like
Because remember, like
at Final 8, when Matt Diamond Power vetoed, he was on the block next to Lane. And also, like the reason that he was on the block next to Lane is because Hayden and Enzo made a Final 3 with him, and he was working with Hayden.
Okay. Well, maybe that changed, at least in the early stages. In the early, I think maybe they also felt betrayed by Lane at a certain point. But like I remember, like for example, in the backyard comp that Rachel won, Lane was never picked until the last round, including by Rachel, who was picking every single other round. He was really in good for a while, and obviously Hayden was too. A lot of people really just loved Lane throughout the season. And
my other thing is that Hayden was also just better positioned in the brigade. I think every single person had him as their number 2.
Yes. But I think Lane played almost just as good of a game, in my opinion. And I like Lane more. And so that's what it comes down to. I think Hayden's just such a milquetoast kind of person, and you're allowed to vote based on likable. Like if I think Hayden blew Lane out of the water and just was so much more dominant and better, etc., I would vote for Hayden. But if I look at their games side by side, I don't. I think Lane also had just as many upticks to his game, his relationship with Brittany, his just social capital, like with Hayden winning more comps. Like I think they can go toe to toe. And I feel like I just vibe with Lane a lot more as a person than I do Hayden. And so I think if I were in the house, I would have voted for Lane. So that is where my vote's going to go. And
I mean, that's fair. I still am a little confused because I listed like 7 things Hayden did better, and you just said Lane had Brittany. But you know, I'll live your life.
None of those things were like that impressive to me. I don't know. Like,
I mean, they're all something.
They all are something, and I probably don't have the download as much. I don't have like but and I probably already forgot what happened. Like one of those was like he almost got Brittany to take him, but like he wasn't gonna, but like she wasn't gonna. And I was like, okay. And I don't think there's still a ton of flaws in like Lane's game.
I agree with that.
You know,
Bryce,
like,
the alphabet is not this hard.
What?
The alphabet is not this hard.
It is. Lisa, Liz, Lane.
Yeah. L is before I. Like Lisa, Lane, A before I.
So Lane.
Left.
But I also know Ryan is a very big Hayden guy. Okay.
Oh.
We'll talk about more in our winner thing. Okay. Let us move on. We have a lot more to cover. Actually, we should probably speed up.
I've been trying to go faster.
Okay, we're gonna zoom. 14. Nope, 13.
No.
13.
We're disagreeing again.
You're gonna disagree again. I'm gonna vote for Rachel over Portia. I understand objectively. I guess I'm a crazy juror. I understand objectively Portia probably played a better game. Rachel should have got evicted 9 times. But there was a certain point where you reach a queen out level that's too hard to ignore, and Rachel reached that point. She was so fucking funny and just dynamic and entertaining. I'm gonna vote for Rachel, even though I know Portia probably played better, just because Portia bored me. But I am totally open to Portia winning that season. So take it away, Ryan.
Yeah, I just think Portia played stronger. I think she did what she had to do at the beginning, gotten with the vets, lay low. I think she flipped practically exactly when she needed to, while also still being like the least big threat out of the side that got flipped on. I think she was completely fucked over by Pandora's box and was able to even so flip past it. I think Rachel also just had more downsides. I think she should have been evicted first juror until they said, hey, by the way, someone's coming back, to scare the fuck out of Kalia. And then also had Lawan volunteer to be evicted, and I'm still not convinced he was not bribed and given money in the diary room to do that. I think that Rachel, like, genuinely, like, I try not to be like production rigged. I think production was just straight up rigging, and I think Rachel got extremely lucky, especially by the fact that she only won a jury vote because Shelly just like wanted to be friends with Jeff and Jordan again instead of like actually, like, she fucking hated Rachel. The only reason
vote is also just as crazy. for what it's
Adam
worth.
was going back and forth all week though, like talking to
Mhm.
the cameras. Like he was genuinely like torn.
Mhm.
Like Shelly purely flipped just because like she's wanted to be nice to Jordan, I think. So
Yeah,
I think Portia has less flaws and more upsides.
very fair. And that is a fair, objective jury vote that if I was voting fair and objectively, I would do. I just love Rachel. So that's literally all it comes to. I'm not going to defend her Big Brother 13 game that hard. It was like a rig ass, lucky ass win. Um, so yeah.
I'm
um,
voting for Dan Giesling to win
yeah,
Big Brother 14.
I am
You put
also
the
voting
big
for.
you put the BB 14 Dan up there already. Put BB 10 Dan up there.
Oh my God, what have I done? Okay, well, they're both going to go in both.
Well, yeah, but put them in the right order.
You're right.
No, like Ian, comp run, lucky, should have been evicted, bottom of the totem
That's
pole a lot
fair.
of the time. Like, not even that. Like, I don't think Ian played terribly. Dan's Big Brother 14 game is the best non-winning game in my
Mhm.
opinion.
Mhm.
Especially while already being a winner. Like, I think if he has a jury that isn't saying we refuse to vote for a fucking winner to win again, like
Yeah.
he had them so pressed. I do think he made a mistake in the final six double. I think he
Mhm.
should have just taken out Shane, but
Yeah.
short time period. Joe still was also after him. Like it's not terrible. He was still in a good position. Like he missed it every single person like 20 times in the season, and they kept crawling back to him. It was
Yeah.
insane.
It was insane. There's a lot of downsides to his game in 14 too, but I might be inclined to agree. It'll be he could be the best losing finalist. I would still put Daniel on BB3 above him, but especially because at the beginning of he was this. People forget that he was this close to being eliminated in during the teams phase.
Yeah, but
Um,
the fact that
but then
he
he got
wasn't
Danielle to stay. I can't believe that. I cannot believe
like
they evicted who was it, JoJo over Danielle?
yeah,
The
they
hell?
evicted JoJo instead of taking Dan out of the game.
And I was so mad because that was the first season I watched, and I stand JoJo. I don't know why. JoJo was the first person I ever stand. I I'm not joking. I was furious. I was like, who is this fucker that's just taking out my queen?
You
Um,
know what I'm mad that Dan Giesling stays instead of JoJo.
I'm not joking. I was livid. I was livid. I was like, get whoever this is out of here and keep my queen. But
That's so funny.
yeah. Um, I did another note. I think Daniel would have been a better winner than Ian, and that's funny. um, anyways, yeah, this is pretty self-explanatory. Big Brother 15. I'm gonna vote for Gina Marie because she's her. She's Gina Marie. You
She's Gina
know,
Marie.
she's
Yeah.
her. She's Gina Marie.
I mean, her best move, other than taking out Amanda, was probably, I'm going to have to say, I think it was probably taking out Amanda.
I if you guys have not like watched Gina Marie's finale speech in a while, just go back and watch it because it is just the best thing ever.
And
No,
I
we
love you
are.
guys, and I wish you luck with your families and your jobs and all your families.
I made
And
Gina Marie.
no, we're voting for Andy. He played, like, debatably the best single season game of all time. I personally may or may not agree. We'll get to that in the winner
Yeah.
rankings. I'm not going to say. But I mean, he was like the safest house guest in fucking Big Brother history, debatably. The only time he was ever nominated is because he was Alyssa's fourth option, and even so, still was never at risk of being evicted there. Um, and then he just girl bossed out and won the game. GG's.
Yeah. We are Andy apologists here at TOUTTE. All of you weirdos who like, first of all, his Twitter is funny. Sorry. But I think all the weirdos who like to discredit his game because they hate BB15, please remember there are a billion times worse options that could have won BB15 than him. He was fairly harmless in his controversies. It was mostly other people that he was surrounded by. And it was like, what is he going to not like be friends and getting good with people on Big Brother? Like, that's what you got to do. So, and Gina Marie was, we don't have to justify this. Gina Marie was fucking insane. Okay. Andy gets our vote.
Yeah,
Moving
and
on.
Bryce also runs into Andy on the streets of Chicago
I
all the
do.
time.
I have
So
some pictures with him at Boys Town, blacked out, venting to him about how much I love him, and he's like, oh, okay. But he's really sweet. Every time I've ran into him 2 or 3 times, and every time he like stops in the middle of a crowd even, and he literally talks to me and smiles and chats with me and takes pictures with me. Talked about Big Brother, seems excited to talk about it. Like really, really nice in person the few times I've met him. And I had no reason for him to be nice to me because I've been very drunk. So yeah, shout out Andy.
So I realized I made a mistake. I see Derek on here instead of Victoria when Cody took Victoria and Victoria won 9-0.
Yes. Listen, I still, in my heart, believe that Victoria beats Cody 5-4.
So we're gonna vote for Derek.
Okay. Yeah, we're voting for Derek.
At least I assume. Yeah, I was like, I guess I've probably never talked to you about this because who the fuck wants to talk about Big Brother 16? But
apparently everybody. To this day, it baffles me how popular that season is.
Because it was like the season that got like 90% of the fans in, because after BB15 they said we need to fucking rebrand, and then they just made it like family friendly summer camp and everyone loves each other and Battle of the Block.
Hate it.
No.
Yeah, but Derek, maybe another candidate for the best single season of all time. Like, wow. Just say what you want about the guy, but like missed it, everyone. Cody played a good game, but he took Derek over Victoria. So and like, I don't think we have too much to talk about.
Genuinely never getting nominated in a Battle of the Block season, or like 2 Final 5 rounds and a Final 4, like genuinely fucking insane.
Yep. And I guess fake praying works, you know? Yeah. All right. Big Brother, what, 17?
Yeah, I'm obviously going to vote for Liz Nolan because I subscribe to her incest only fans.
There are unironically, like, I do see the take, like, Liz should have won a lot, and I saw it during the time.
I don't think she played a bad game, but I think it's, in my opinion, decently obvious that Steve played a better one.
Yeah. We here at TOUTTE are also Steve apologists. If you have not seen Ethan Molly's video on Steve's winning game, please watch it. The show didn't show him much. I think he was overshadowed, obviously, by Vanessa. But if you take the Vanessa out of it and you really look at Steve's game through like a fisheye lens, it's actually a lot better than people think. And it's obviously better than Liz, who just won comps, but really she was okay, but she didn't really know what was going on.
If I said Steve's social game was Jordan Lloyd level,
I would disagree.
I think it's different ways. I think he was more strategic about his social game than Jordan was.
Yeah,
I think Jordan is just a nice person.
Yeah. I still am not of the opinion people like loved Steve. Like people were like, oh, he's cute. Like I don't really know what's going on there. He's a bit weird, but I guess
bottom left of your screen, Bryce.
Thank you. I guess I like him. Like I don't think he was like super well liked. Like
people in the jury were thrilled to vote for him. Like in the roundtable, they were like, "We fucking love Steve. We're so happy that he's here." And like strategically, like he was in alliances. He was in the majority, fucking at all times. He was only ever nominated because of his arch rival Becky, Train Becky icon. And like a few other times, but like missing
he made some mistakes, but
missing Vanessa at Final 5, like even being in on the plan to originally backdoor Vanessa and weaseling out of that, like making the right move at the end. One thing I do always forget is that he was like 2 minutes away from losing to Liz in part 2, and then he's just fucked. But
wow, I did forget. I never remember that.
It was I was like 29 minutes to 31 minutes or something.
He kind of like still he to this day says he doesn't remember if he threw the Final 4 veto, which to me means he probably threw the Final 4 veto and doesn't want to admit. And he has he had a rough start. I still love my favorite thing at the beginning is when Devon's like, I picked damn Steve. That's anyways. Yep. Steve over Liz. Haha. And 18, yeah?
I don't know if we agree on 18. I don't know if we've ever talked about this. For me, it's pretty easy.
I think we do. It's easy for me too. I hate Paul.
Okay.
And I especially hate his 18 game. His 19 game was miles better. We'll get into that in a second. I think Nicole played a really good game on 18. I think it gets underrated and it gets overrated. I think, but I think from the we've talked about this from the final six, she plays really well. I'm a James apologist. That's for another time. But between the two, I think Paul. I mean, I personally don't respect a vote factor for me is not nominated 17 times. Like I don't really like that about someone, and I think he benefited from Victor coming back 3 times to be a shield from him 3 specific times, and he was rude to a lot of people. He was his classic cocky, overconfident Paul self, and he had a win, and he instead took Nicole for no reason, and that is his own fault. I think if Nicole took him and barely won, maybe there's another conversation, but he knew he could easily beat Nicole, and he took James, and that is, or he could, and he took her there. That's his own fault. I am definitely from start to finish, Nicole had her finger on the pulse of the game, and just, in my opinion, played a better game than Paul that season. I really do, and especially as one of the returnees, she had no business getting that far. Is her strategy boring and icky at times? Yes, but I'm not voting for Paul. I'm not doing it.
Mm-hmm. I think, like, if you separate the game into like portions, at the beginning of the game, Paul is on the fucking Jose side, and Nicole is in the majority. For the next few rounds, like, Paul does do some very genuinely good work at making his way into the majority and improving his position. I think for somebody who doesn't know the game, I think he played a very scrappy, like, I don't think he played a bad game. I think he did a lot of decent things. Especially like towards the middle, like flipping on Polly, getting that vote flip, and then still getting like Bridget out in the fucking double somehow instead of Corey making a better move. I still don't think it's terrible. But then, like, for the next few rounds, he's in a much better position until at final 7, like, Nicole mists the fuck out of Natalie and gets her to take out Victor again. Comes back, and then Nicole gets James to throw that HOH where they then take out Michelle, which is good. Paul and Victor side with them instead of Natalie. I do think Nicole gets lucky that Michelle is force given the co-HOH, because if not, Corey probably leaves there, and then her position is a lot worse. But I think if Michelle wasn't co-HOH, that she could have played the dynamics differently as well and still maybe kept the target on Victor. I don't know, like, from especially, and then after she gets Michelle out, like, she's locked for final 3 unless comps really spiral out of control, which they don't. Especially like the second Corey wins final 5 HOH, she's locked, guaranteed. So
neither of their games were perfect, but Big Brother 18 was such. Shout out Big Brother 18. I think it's maybe one of the most underrated seasons of all time.
I agree.
The house flipped so many fucking times. So many people went from the top to the bottom. I don't think there's anyone who could have got to the end that said they had a smooth path through all of it, except maybe James.
Like, I think I understand that people don't like it because, like, all the drama of the beginning is like kind of the second Davon's out, it's like, okay, who do I root for? And the answer is kind of nobody. But I think that if you don't care about having a rooting interest and care about fun dynamics, that it's a really fun season.
I agree. And I think
Nicole just was in a stronger position for almost the entire game, except for like a couple rounds in the middle with all the Polly stuff.
Yeah. And I was rooting for Michelle, for Devon, for Natalie, whatever. But towards the end, I was like, I got to pick someone to root for. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll root for Nicole. Like, fuck it. Why not? But I would also like to say, shout out to me. I fucking hated Paul. He was maybe like one of my least favorite, if not least favorite house guests ever after Big Brother 18, not after 19. So this is not with 19 factored in. I thought he was so corny, weird. I hated his stupid friendship thing. And I hated him before it was cool. So shout out to me for hating Paul before it was cool.
Well, speaking of which, do you hate him enough to vote for Josh Martinez over him?
Here's the thing. As we've seen, I'm no stranger to maybe not being the most objective juror. You know, I will vote for someone because I like them more. But even I have a limit. I am not one of those people who revisionist history is Josh's game. I think the objective reason Josh made the end, sure, you could say he was great in his jury things or whatever. Josh made it to the end because Paul controlled everything that season, and Josh was the worst liked person. Paul got to hand select from the entire cast who he would like to go to final two. He could have chosen anyone, and Josh was so fucking hated. He chose Josh to be that person. That is why Josh is at the end, in my opinion. You can glaze him like on paper. He was always in the know. He was whatever. But we all know everything that happened that season was Paul, and I hate Paul. He really sucks. But like, I have never seen a season run like that before. And at a certain point, if they are going to give it to him like that, I'm just over Josh. Josh was so rude to everyone and terrible to these people. He was just, to me, he was just as I've grown on him a bit since the challenge, but he was just as, if not more, dislikable than Paul that season. And at least Paul was like actually running things. So there comes a limit to my bitterness. I can understand why Paul lost, and it would be funny. Maybe I would vote for Kevin over Paul to be funny, because I really did hate Paul.
My dad. I love Kevin.
Paul, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm voting Paul. I don't have anything to add. It's just like when I said Dan BB 14 is debatably the best non-winning game. I think Paul is also up there. And I assume this isn't a debate. We're also just voting Tyler instead of Casey, correct?
Oh yeah. I don't know if people need to hear why, but I don't care.
Tyler ran game. Everyone liked Tyler. Tyler run strategy. Casey do what Tyler say. Yay.
Casey play fine. Casey boring.
Tyler's
Casey
head is cut off.
Casey play good. Tyler play better.
Yeah, Tyler's head is cut off. He's at the bottom.
Thank you.
It's the white background on the bottom row.
All right, 21.
Casey also got cut off. I don't know why. Is it a hot take to say that not only do I hate Jackson Mickey, but I think Holly Allen played a better game than him?
No, I think so too. Holly did play a better game than Mickey. Mickey just had to comp out, so I don't understand why he got all the votes to this day. Go for it.
Okay, so we'll talk about it. We've been trying to fast forward. I think we can take a little bit of a breather with this one. I think Holly, like going into jury phase, I think Holly is the best position player in the house, and I think just the best player in the house. Jackson's a way bigger target. People like Holly more. Nobody's going after Holly whatsoever. She's still decent at comps. I think every time she wins a comp, she makes the correct move with it. I think that her HOHs, I'm trying to think of exactly who. First juror was Jack. Second juror was Annalise. Third juror was Nick. And she was the one that took out Nick, which was, I think, easily the correct decision there. I do think her biggest flaw is like throwing the final five or final four HOH. There was no reason she had to actually stick to that deal at that point. Like, who fucking cares? I think the only reason Jackson Mickey wins is because of like the people that were cast. It's like there's fucking Cliff there who's like, I'm a man and he's a man and we're men and blah blah blah. And like Nick is like, he won 20 competitions, bro. How can you not vote for him when he won 20 million competitions? And then fucking Jack is there. And then like Tommy and Christy are just like Tommy was like, personally, I fucking hate his ass, but he played the fuck out of me. And like I think him and Christy especially were like, the fact that Jackson Mickey managed to convince them to go after us in the double instead of him, I think they just gave him all that credit instead of actually like thinking about it or like asking about it. Because I think Cliff probably went to jury and was like, oh yeah, we kept him safe because he made a deal with us and he was loyal and we were loyal to him. And it was, so I think that like Holly was always safer. She was a much smaller target. I think I do still think that she should have played Final Five better. Like, she did only stay because of Jackson and not herself. I'll give him that. But I think that there's a thing that happens where somebody just starts winning every competition and then everyone's like, we got to bow down to them. And like, it's such an overwhelming like black cloud that's hanging above everyone that they like can't not see it. And I think Holly was riding that cloud and people just couldn't see her through it.
We've talked a bit about Claudia and Ty, and I think this is almost the most spot on perfect comparison to Claudia and Ty I could ever give. Like
I don't agree at
controversial,
all.
kind of abusive, manipulative psychopath who wins a ton of competitions when he should have gone home about 10 weeks ago, and girl who was actually in the social dynamics of the game and had power and kind of chose to kind of tank her game a little bit to go with that
See, but
manipulative ass psycho.
I
I think
don't
it's
agree.
exact. I
I
think it's
think
exact.
Ty and Mickey, you can compare them very easily. I think Holly didn't tank her game for him at all. I think she did exactly what she had to do because they were still the biggest target. I think
Mm-hmm.
Claudia actively nominated her own allies and took them out because Ty said to.
Okay. Well, I made the mistake of saying something slightly nice about Claudia. But I think it is even the same with them getting one jury vote. I think Claudia, like, she was fucked over
Holly
that.
got 3.
Oh, I got 3. I thought she got 1.
Holly got
Oh,
Nicole, Jessica, and Kat.
okay, good. I don't want to talk about Claudia too much, but she at least didn't want to take like I think once Shania, she got fucked over by the Shania thing.
She could have nominated him.
And I don't know if it was the right call.
It was.
Okay, that's a tough call to make though. Like he is with her, so like he's a good shield for
She
her.
also could have nominated Renee.
Whatever. And then but Shania volunteered, so I get it. But
No, she
I'm
did
not.
not.
She did.
To get evicted? What are you talking about?
You nominated to go. Yes, Shania was like, put me up over Renee. She told Claudia that.
I don't fucking remember that. Jesus
She
Christ.
did. Shania, it was gonna be. Claudia was crying about who to put up, and Shania goes, "You should just do me."
Well, anyways.
Anyways, Holly, very underrated game. Definitely better than Mickey. Not a perfect game, but I also hate Mickey. So I just am gonna echo your sentiments, and vote for Holly.
And Enzo
Okay.
Palumbo wins BB22.
Yeah, no, you are an Enzo apologist, but I don't think that much, Shirley.
Yeah.
Okay. Cody dominates the game.
Where's I know no use I don't know why the Codys are separated, but All Stars Cody is over to the left.
I don't know.
I don't know why Danny's there.
Okay. I don't even feel like talking about it.
I mean, the only thing I'll say is that we keep talking about best, like most dominant winning games. I think he's right there.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
and I think
especially compared to Enzo. Like, let's be real.
Oh, and we have a tough call for Big Brother 23 with Derek. Derek F, one of the most dominant winners of all. I mean, he sends me on Twitter because he's still convinced he ate the fuck up out of that game. I mean, it's really funny. I do actually think I'm going to say something horrible. I think people are slightly too hard on Derek F's game. I actually think he plays better than people think, but I also think in a world without the cookout, he's fucked. And no, why am I talking about this? I'm not voting for Derek F over Xavier. Like, what am I talking about?
Yeah, like I don't think Xavier's game is like super impressive. I think he's like the definition of mid in Big Brother as a whole.
Yeah.
But when Derek F is sitting next to him, like, be fucking free. I genuinely, if I analyze their games, I might vote for Gina Marie Zimmerman over Derek F, and that's not a joke at all.
That is very funny. I would vote for Derek F over Gina Marie, but she is her Gina Marie. She's her Gina Marie.
If you look at pure game and ignore the fact that she's racist, I think she plays a better game than Derek F.
I guess Derek. Yeah.
And the fact that he still molds on Twitter about like, why does everyone else on the cookout get calls instead of me? Because you're you. Who like the only thing he's got cast on is RHAP Mafia.
Good for him. That's big for him. Okay. 24.
This is a debate for some people. I know it's not for us.
What's not?
I was okay, yeah. I was like, to the people that say Monty played better than Taylor, you need to, one, watch live feeds, two, listen when people tell you that you may not be right and like have an open mind. Taylor ate the fuck up out of this game, and Monty threw it away at the end. Like, I don't think Monty played bad. I think he played a very averagely, decently good Big Brother game. I think like Xavier's the definition of mid. Monty is, if you Google Big Brother player, he's like Monty fucking pops up. Like he's decent at comps, he's decent strategically, he's decent socially, like, but also Taylor turned around her perception more masterfully than anybody in Big Brother history. By week 2, she went from having the entire house want her out to having the entire house want her to stay. And if week 3 did not introduce the Festy Besties, her position would have been perfect. Not perfect, but it would have been good. And then even after that, Leftovers Forum flipped to save her. She's riding that for a while. Her HOH sucks. We won't talk about it. But every single person leaving the house, she gets everyone who hated her to be so happy to vote for her. She missed the fuck out of Jasmine. She missed the fuck out of Indy. She, during all the Kyle shit, she was the most understanding and kind and like talked to him about what needed to happen. Like, she's a girl's girl at her fucking heart. She got all of those women to adore her by the end. Meanwhile, Monty, I think people do forget some of the flaws in his game, not only taking Taylor instead of Turner, which is insane, but like he was a huge target for a long time. He would have gone home in the Kyle vote if the Kyle shit didn't happen because they were already wanting him out. He had his
Taylor
own.
going home that week.
No, Kyle was already telling people that Monty needed to, because Michael won the veto, and they were like, "Well, Monty's a bigger threat than Taylor. We need to take out Monty."
I think it would have. I'm not sure Monty would have gone there, but
That's what Kyle was saying at the time, and
okay, okay,
Michael and Brittany also. Like, yeah,
okay,
there were a few days where it could have flipped, but they were at the time planning on taking out Monty.
okay.
Um, like even Monty had his own team with like fucking Terrence and whoever the fuck wanting Michael to backdoor them, and Michael's like first or second HOH and OTEB, and like threw the veto to Michael to try to get Monty out. Like, I don't know, it was weird. The other side never like really trusted him after the flip, and like Taylor ate up. Taylor ate down. I don't know.
There's a lot of people who underrate Taylor Hale's game, and there's a lot of people who overrate Taylor Hale's game. I love Taylor. I'm gonna vote for Taylor over Monty. I'm not. I think she ate up reindeer games. I think there are a ton of flaws in her game. I think Monty on paper could have played better. But this is also one of those things where for the storyline, I don't care. I do think, for example, her position she was in was not her fault. People were rooting for her for no reason. She handled it classily, amazingly. I am of the opinion that production definitely influenced a lot of people to turn around their opinion on Taylor. That's my personal opinion. And I don't sweep that on. I also recognize her HOH was terrible, and she really should have gone home. She would have gone home at final 5 if not for Monty protecting her and nothing of her own. Like that was good. She had a lot of times she almost and should have gone home, whereas Monty was pretty safe through the entire game. I remember watching, and for some reason, I remember when I was watching, I thought Taylor was going home until Kyle did his thing. I suppose I was wrong. But at the end of the day, she also has all the strengths that you said. She's a better player than people give her credit for. She's very likable. She handled it way classier than I ever would. She killed her final 2 speech, and Monty took her to the end. You could say producers influenced him too. You could say whatever. He has the choice, and it is an obvious choice.
I never heard production influenced him too. They were fucking. Like he wanted her.
They were fucking. Yeah, that is also critique. Is like, oh, she just crawled into bed with Monty. Okay, work.
Mother.
Work.
And like she didn't even like she has admitted she was like that wasn't strategic. I needed it.
Yeah, and I can see why she needed it. But there's never been a better story in the history of Big Brother. And you just can't not fall in love with her and vote for that. It really, like, not to be so cheesy, corny and stuff, but it's an inspirational win, and it meant a lot for a lot of people. And I don't think Monty would have been like a notable winner in the slightest. He like you said, he's just Big Brother in a lab. Like, okay, like he won comps and like was in with people, like whatever. Okay.
Are you letting your are you voting personal or gameplay on this next one?
I'm voting to shoot myself in the face because that's how I felt watching this season. I hate them both. I've liked Jag a little more after than I have Matt. But oh my God, fuck these two. I hated this season and how it ended. I hated that one of them had to win. I would have voted for Bowie Jane over either of these two. I'm not joking. I am not joking. Right now, I'm saying that on camera. I would have voted for Bowie Jane over Matt or Jag. Um, rock, paper, scissors. I said that shit. But I can say Matt played. I was high on Matt throughout the rankings for a while. Like I think from start to finish. Since I don't like them both, my prerogative when I hate you both is going on gameplay, and I think Matt had a stronger game from start to finish. He certainly had his flaws. He certainly didn't exactly know why, but he was constantly in the middle, constantly liked. And Jack got evicted. And to make a second point, Jack got evicted, and to make a third point, Jack got evicted. So as much as Matt pisses me the fuck off, I think he played a better game than Jag by a good margin. He tanked it in his jury speech. Rock, paper, scissors. I was willing to do that. But my vote would go to Matt over Jag.
Yeah, I mean, Matt, like, kind of fucked himself over, but throughout the entirety of the game, like, I will never forget Jag getting, like, 4 ones in the stock watch, including, like, multiple times in a row. After he came back, he was going to be evicted immediately the next round after, until they just decided that Red had to go because he said the words, "I want to make up with Cameron," and they decided they couldn't let that happen for some reason. Because they needed every single person in the game to be after Cameron instead of every single person minus 1 to be after Cameron.
Right.
Um,
Justice for Red.
Like, Jag was so horrendous. Towards the end, he picked it up. Like, when he won every single competition, I think most of the time he was making the right moves with it at least.
Yeah.
He got to win HOH twice in a fucking row for some reason. He won that veto anyways, though, so he wouldn't have gone home. And he did good enough work at the end to, like, Matt, I think, was taking him to the end, and Bowie also was. And also, Matt tanked his own fucking game by doing terrible jury speeches and goodbye messages. However, the final thing that gets me is that every single person leaving the game was like, Matt is going to win. He's the best player, Jag. He will beat you. And Jag said, I'm going to take him anyways because I need to represent my community, which I understand. I get it. As a game move, like, what the fuck?
You
So,
could
yeah.
still represent your community and go to Final Two with Bowie Jane.
Well,
You
no,
could
because
say,
that's he had a Final Two with Matt first. That's not loyal.
oh, yeah, because he was very loyal to everyone throughout the entire game. It's so
Yeah.
ridiculous when people do that because it's the same with like Wu and Tony and Kagayan. It's like they spend the entire season fucking people over and they go, I have to show everyone that I'm loyal. Like, yeah, okay, then you should be in Final Three with Blue right now then if you're loyal, girl. So
Yeah, I would also vote Matt, yeah.
Okay, perfect.
I'm not voting for Mackenzie, Joe,
Thank you.
and Beck.
Rare, Ryan, you heard it here first. Ryan loves Chelsea. She's his favorite winner ever.
Like, personally, I don't like either of them, but MJ, like, you want to talk about throwing your game away for someone? Jesus Christ. I don't think I have the mental capacity to talk about this season right now.
Okay, and we won't. Mackenzie also had no business making it as far as she did. Like she was going. There was never a moment in this game she knew what was going on, and there was never like. She only got into a decent position because Chelsea kind of pulled her from the ashes, and because of comps, whatever. Chelsea ran the season. Mackenzie was really stupid, and took Chelsea to the end over Cam as well. So I don't feel the need. This is one of those super obvious votes that, like, if you really have to debate this, what are you doing watching us an hour 23 minutes in, you know?
Yeah, speaking of very difficult decisions, obviously I would vote for Vince.
Listen, I've seen the comments. Vince was robbed. Vince was one of the best players of all time. Ashley floated. We reward people for doing nothing these seasons.
No, I mean, we could talk about this for longer, but Bryce and I started this podcast talking about Big Brother 28, 27. Yeah. I already forgot. 27. Mm-hmm. If you want to hear what we have to say about Ashley versus Vince, go watch our finale recap podcast and or our final tier list. I did include both Ashley pictures also, if you didn't notice. I did that just for her. But if you want to hear why we're voting for Ashley in more detail, we talked about it for fucking 200 hours in our other podcast. So
Ashley play very good,
Vince
likable,
play Vince.
strategically very smart. Vince play very bad, make strategic bad choice. Vince win more, make bad choice. Ashley win less, make better choice. Capiche?
I know we don't have a visual aid. Do we want to quickly run through OTT and celebrity or no?
Sure. Okay.
Celebrity 1 is just Ross, right?
Yeah, we're voting for Ross.
Celebrity
Ross ran
2,
out of that season.
yeah. Celebrity 2, is this a toss-up for you? For me, it's not.
Is that Tamar and Ricky?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm voting for Tamar.
Oh, I'm voting Ricky.
Oh, fuck you.
Like,
I get
strategically, he was way better.
sure. He was. Oh, strategically he was, but there's also a likability factor. I like Tamar a lot more.
Yeah, Ricky is the most boring person to ever play Big Brother. Like,
I'm not voting for the most boring person to play Big Brother who played a good strategic game over one of the most entertaining people to ever step foot into the Big Brother house and like actually played a decent game alongside it. Also, like Ricky admits, like he didn't want to win. Everyone like he kind of took Tamar to the end, like expecting Tamar to win, and everyone was like, "Well, Tamar needs this money." And Ricky doesn't. And Ricky was like, yeah, I don't need this money. We're all celebrities. Tamar needs this money. So
yeah. Remember when Lolo Jones said no to a final 2 when she was going to take him to final 2?
Yeah. Fun. 3, you voting for Todrick or Misha? Wow,
I'm not voting for Todrick. Todrick can fucking burn.
I'm close.
Like he's the better player, but I'm not voting for him. Absolutely not.
You know what? I'm gonna look into the camera. This is hard because Todrick's weird. But there's a part of me over the years that wonders.
I think you're forgetting how. I think like time has faded how bad he was during that season. You need to remember. You need to get back in that headspace.
He did run the season like the Navy, but I need to go out. I need to look at it objectively.
Fuck no.
I also like that he gives people his place to stay. I think that's sweet. But he was ridiculous.
Not anymore. He doesn't own the mansion anymore.
He played the fuck out of everybody. But so did Misha. Yeah, no, I'm not. I can't vote for. Let's vote for Misha. I can't vote for Todrick. I am not doing it. I could make a case. One day maybe I'll make a case for Todrick. I think he got more hate for doing less than a lot of people have done before. He just was like, I don't even remember why he just was like rude and weird.
Like I barely remember it either, but I don't know if I've ever felt more passionately about Big Brother than I did during that season about him.
Why did we hate him so much? I'm trying to remember. He just like
there was a lot, and the fucking
just because he slayed our faves. I don't know.
No, like he was saying like horrendous shit about people.
Yeah,
but also I genuinely think the Shayna round might be my least favorite round in Big Brother history. I couldn't fucking take it.
But I have to give him credit for that. Like I can't. I think part of me was like, I hated him so much for that Shayna round because I was rooting so hard for Shayna and Carson at the same time.
No, I don't hate him as much. I hate fucking Carson bitch ass Cressley for that shit.
Anyways, I'll still vote for Misha. I'll have to rewatch it one of these days and remember why the fuck I hated him so much. But I can't deny the fact that like I hated him and everyone hated him watching. So I'm sure there's shit I'm forgetting about. So I'm gonna vote for Misha. And
like I've been thinking about soon re-listening to the RHAP podcast talking about that season because I need to remember
why he was so awful because I forget. Okay. That's all the celebrities, yeah?
Yeah, I'm voting for. I've seen OTT once. My memory of it is a little hazy. I know I was messaging you as I was watching. To me, it was pretty clear that it was a Jason vote in my mind. I know like I don't know really the differences between him and Chrissy, other than the fact that Jason was a bigger target and like needed more comp wins. But that's also because like I think from like week 2, everyone knew Chrissy wasn't gonna fucking win, and they were just dragging her. So
yeah. This is, I guess, controversial. I was the Jason Chrissy side. I actually hated the Morgan Alex side. I don't remember why. I think I thought they were like a little pretentious for my liking. Even I can say the same about the other side. I loved the Chrissy, Jason, Danielle, Justin side, and that season was so split in fan bases, it was crazy. But I also love the opinion Morgan is maybe the worst winner in franchise history. Genuinely, she is a terrible, terrible, terrible winner. She was useless, but at the same time, Jason's side threw it by taking out Alex instead of her, Morgan was the only one on the other side available to get the care package, and they kept her. Everyone would hate her. So they also, I'm sure Jason's side talked a lot of shit. I personally thought it was funny. I never really thought they crossed a line in the way that people seem to think that they crossed a line. I enjoyed it. I do know there was like there was one round. The funniest fucking round is like I think Jason won HOH, and then he like was like, let's make a fake final three with like Shelby, Morgan, and Alex.
Yeah,
and
it was
just get their hopes up and then nominate them.
They
There was
were.
no reason to do that.
It was a co-HOH round. I think it was him and Shelby were the HOHs, and they each nominated like one person from their own side because then like if veto happened, like it was fucking weird. Like they knew one from each side. So there was something with like veto, and then like even though Shelby won the HOH, Jason had both of his noms on the block at the end of the week. Like that season, like I will very publicly say like I remember thinking Jason played the best game, but also OTT was so like fucked and twist fucked. Like I don't, you can't compare it to real Big Brother. Let's be real.
But if it was like, I do think overall Jason did run the season. And I think Jason wins if there's no weird fan voting stuff. I love Chrissy. Chrissy's actually fucking hilarious, and I think more people should talk about Chrissy if they ever bother to remember this season. She was so fucking funny throughout the season. She was a whiny little crazy person, and she just sheeped Jason, if I'm being realistic. Like, she did not do smart things through the game. So I'm tempted to vote for her because it's funny, but I will vote for Jason with you. I'm not voting for Morgan. Morgan was just useless.
Also, Justin was robbed.
Justin was robbed. I remember for some reason I was standing Danielle that season, and Whitney. I loved Whitney. Whitney was pushed.
It's so like everyone, like people. I remember like the edit was like, oh, Whitney flipped on her alliance at the end, but it was just like her vote didn't even matter, and then she was the next boot anyways because she was at the bottom. Like she didn't like actually fucking flip. She was just like, I don't know.
Yeah, whatever. Whitney, but yeah, I vote for Jason. Anything else?
Cornbread was robbed. Fuck y'all.
I hated Cornbread. I don't know why.
I also remember
Neely was
like
robbed. Neely was pushed.
I remember like I googled it after Cornbread left because I was like, why did they vote Cornbread when they had the numbers to save him? And I looked it up and they were kind of just like, yeah, we were gonna save him, but then we didn't.
Yep, that's literally what happened. It's Jason's side. Like whenever there were votes or strategic things, like the Morgan, Shelby, Alex side got dog walked every time there was some sort of like strategic thing happening. Every single time, it was just because of like the OTT fan basing twist that they like. I'm voting for Jason, and I also like Jason. Sue me, I like him. Okay, that's all I got. Did you have fun ranking all the final two members for an hour and a half?
I like how we stopped disagreeing completely after Big Brother 13.
I respect that for us.
Like it was dead even. Like we were disagreeing more than we were agreeing, and then just Dan, Andy, Derek, Steve, Nicole, Paul, Tyler.
Good for us. So here's our final list. I don't really feel like reading it out loud. You know, you can look if you want to look. Only one I'm shaky on still is my Allison pick for Big Brother 4. Like I'm still shaky on that, but I'll keep it there just to give her a shout. And I guess I'm shaky on my Danielle pick too, but like whatever.
Yeah, the issue I don't know if I'm gonna be able to clickbait this tier list on Twitter because I don't really know what I can show or not show that doesn't just give everything away. But just send me this and I'll figure it out.
I'm trying to think. What's our most controversial take here? Yours is probably you should just have it be a picture of Natalie.
Honestly, fair. Just send me a picture, a screenshot of the tier list, and I'll download a picture of Natalie and clickbait it.
All right. Or of Holly or something. With that, as always, thank you so much for coming to the TOUTTE podcast. We will see you in 2 weeks when we rank some other shit that no one really cares about. And it'll be amazing. Good night and big balls.
Oh.
That's the wipeout. That's the wipeout.
Yeah, I got it. I got it.
Okay. That's right. You know ball. All right. Goodbye, everyone.